Well, some explosive information coming in. Times Now has accessed the CCTV footage in the Vignesh case, the custodial death that took place in Tamil Nadu. The CCTV footage now, the undeniable truth of what exactly happened. Here are the visuals on your screens where Vignesh can be seen. The police officials also seen there in the visuals.
This is the proof of what is being said as Vignesh and his friend were being taken away by the police there after that altercation that happened on the wee hours of April 18th and 19th. What is being said that Vignesh was trying to escape from the police while he was being inquired, that has also emerged. So Shilpa, can you help us understand the CCTV footage that has now been released?
Well, yes, Amita. In fact, this CCTV visual, of course, is from the intervening night of April 18th and 19th. Remember, Vignesh and his friend Suresh were stopped by the policemen while they were traveling in an auto rickshaw at Kelly's Junction in Chennai. This is a regular vehicle checkup is what the police, of course, says. And during that checkup, they stopped the auto rickshaw that they were traveling in. And you can see from the visuals how Vignesh is, of course, emerging from the side where an auto rickshaw is parked, and he's running towards the other end of the road, towards the opposite side of the road. And two policemen, of course, chase him. Vignesh falls down, and he's being beaten up by the police, and he was later taken to the opposite side of the road where he was allegedly beaten up by the cops for several hours. This is what the eyewitness testimony that Times Now managed to get. The auto rickshaw driver Prabhu told us, of course, few days back that he was beaten up by wooden logs and pipes. And even in these visuals, you can see the police official trying to beat Vignesh using a stick or a pipe. It's not clear what exactly they are using to beat Vignesh, but nevertheless, you can see how he's running away from the cops, and the cops are also chasing him. He falls down, and then once he gets up, he's being beaten by the cops. Now, the family of Vignesh, the brothers of Vignesh, and even the eyewitness testimony that Times Now first put out, all of them suggested that he was a victim of police brutality. He was beaten up badly by the cops after he was arrested. Now, the police says both Vignesh and Suresh was in possession of 50 grams ganja. There were alcohol bottles, and they also said that there were several bruises on the body even before they were arrested. Now, that has been completely, that statement from the police has been contradicted by the eyewitness statement, because the auto rickshaw driver Prabhu said that there were absolutely no wounds or injuries on the body of Vignesh before his arrest. And he, of course, said that for several hours he was beaten up at that Kelly's Junction by the cops. In fact, blood started coming out of his mouth.
Of the AIADMK is with us on the phone line. Sir, the video proof has now emerged, sir. Exactly how Vignesh can be seen being dragged, being beaten up allegedly by those very same police personnel, then taken into custody where unfortunately he loses his life, sir. There is CCTV footage that has now been accessed.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Satya.
Sixth custodial murder. I don't call it as death. It is custodial murder. And people who are supposed to protect the law take the law into their own hands. And the CBCID inquiry is just a mere eyewash. I presume that I congratulate your channel for chasing this issue and bringing out truth at the appropriate time. Tangamani, who passed away at Tiruvannamalai 5 days ago, the same. It's a custodial killing. And yes, time and again it is coming out that the police force is taking law into their hands, and they are bribing people to remain silent. And I think the head of the state, the head of the home, CM Stalin, will have the spine to act at least now with iron hand and putting things in place to restore confidence in the minds of the people. People are losing confidence day by day regarding the law and order situation in Tamil Nadu.
Right, so Mr.
I think it's time to act.
Absolutely, sir. Thank you very much for your point of view. Let me go back to our reporter there on ground, because Times Now exclusively has access to CCTV footage. And Shilpa, if you can help us understand the contradictions that are now coming to light, especially with the CCTV footage at hand, this will surely be treated as evidence, but the contradiction on the police's side's version.
Well, absolutely. This is definitely a crucial piece of evidence as far as this case is concerned, because what the police, of course, said is that Vignesh died because he suffered from seizures and he started vomiting on the morning of April 19th. even though he was rushed to hospital, he passed away. He was brought dead to the hospital is what the Chennai police statement, of course, said. But the eyewitness testimony, the family, the brothers of Vignesh, all of them, of course, have said that there were several wounds on Vignesh's body. And in fact, the post-mortem details that Times Now has managed to access also said that there were more than 10 fresh injuries on Vignesh's body. All of this, there was a blunt trauma that was inflicted on Vignesh. These are some of the details a top government official shared with us, while talking about the post-mortem of Vignesh. So clearly, there has been police brutality, and even though the case has been transferred to the CBCID, questions are being raised as to why these cops, why these errant cops have not been arrested yet. Why has there been no case that has been registered against these
Exactly. So merely it is just suspension that has taken place. It is literally police versus police there, because this is the CBCID which the state government has handed over the case, Pratibha. More evidences that are coming to light, especially this CCTV footage.
Absolutely. Let's show our viewers this footage, because this is going to be clinching evidence. This is something that the police officials will have to look at and cannot deny. Now, this is on 19th, wee hours of 19th, as we were talking about. On 18th is when he was taken into custody, and after midnight we can see him here trying to run away from the police officials. And this is what the sequence is. It shows exactly things as they happened. He was seen running. Immediately after that, the police officials catch him, both of them there catching hold of him. And even while he is being taken, he is being assaulted by the police officials. This is a footage that the police officials cannot deny, because remember, the police officials have claimed that this was not a result of police brutality. The family members have said that he was beaten. First, the police tried to say that he had injuries on him before he was even taken into custody. That's a lie. We have an eyewitness account as well as part of the Times Now investigation. Eyewitness saying he did not have any injuries at all. So that lie has been busted. Now we have this CCTV footage that is coming in as well of Vignesh. He's seen running. He falls face down on the road, after which the police officials catch him. And here in the footage itself, we can see the police officials assaulting him as they drag him. Here he is running, and he's trying to run away from the police officials because he had already been assaulted. He falls on the road. Police officials picking him up, dragging him from here and taking him to the police station. The charge is that he was taken to the police station. He was assaulted even further by the police officials, and after which he succumbed to the injuries that he had sustained. The police officials have denied all the charges. First, they claim that he did not have any injuries at all because of the police officials. They claim that he already had injuries when the police picked him up. Eyewitnesses have denied that. Secondly, they have denied that they assaulted him. We have the CCTV footage here, the post-mortem report as well, that has confirmed that he had severe injuries that he had sustained. Apart from that, the charge from the family members as well, that the police officials tried to pay them 1 lakh rupees in trying to cover up the entire incident. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, remember, has said that he will take strict action. But as of now, these are mere words, because no action has been taken. As of now, these police officials have only been suspended. No arrest yet in the case.
Absolutely. So, Shilpa, if I can come back to you on that, exactly what has been said by the eyewitness. We are talking about the auto driver, Prabhu. We were first to access his testimony. It is actually matching with those pictures that we have now accessed.
Well, absolutely. In fact, what is clearly emerging from these CCTV visuals is how the police attacked him. And this is, of course, probably right after the cops stopped the vehicle, stopped the auto rickshaw for checking. And you can see Vignesh running away from the cops and him being chased by the cops. He falls down, and then once he gets up, he's being beaten using some kind of a stick. We do not know what exactly was used to beat him up. But after this also, he was taken to the other side of the road, to the opposite side of the road, where the police had put up a temporary shed. There is a police, unit there that is in place.
Right. So the visuals show very clearly the kind of assault that he had to go through. Shilpa, I request you to stay on with us. We have activist Ms. Brinda Adige with us. Ms. Brinda, if you saw the CCTV visuals, you can see what exactly happened. The police officials have denied it, but they can't deny the CCTV footage.
You're absolutely right. Thank God for the CCTV footage. But this is a country calling ourselves mother of all democracies. And look at this colonial police chasing that man. And how dare the police say that they don't know, they haven't done anything, that they are innocent and that all the allegations are false. This CCTV footage covers and tells them that they are liars, that they are high-handed. They are abusing the power that has been given to them by the taxpayers and the Constitution. And all the police officers who have been involved must be hauled. They must be terminated and punished duly. Unacceptable that they are chasing this citizen, and this citizen has now died. And it is because of the police and their high-handedness. Do they think that they can get away with something like this? Do they think that they are going to be saved by their powers that be that has told them to murder and kill this person? What does the police think of themselves? Are they protectors? They are demons. They are devils.
Right. So let me bring in Mr. Rajashekharan on the phone line is also with us. This cannot be denied as far as the CCTV evidence is concerned because it contradicts the police versions there, sir. The pictures don't lie.
Yes, it is very shocking to see this picture, videos, that this deceased boy, Vignesh, has been dragged. And what all, very unfortunate. And I have lot of confidence in crime branch CID police that they will do justice to the family.
But they have not police, sir. It's the same police force that we are talking about. How will they investigate fairly and freely against their own people, sir?
See, it is a crime branch CID police which would be investigating the matter.
That's right, but it's been over 10 days and there has not been a single arrest. The police officials have only been suspended. We have activist Mr. Jairam also with us. You're seeing these CCTV visuals, and after the police officials denied assaulting him at all, we have CCTV footage that shows them assaulting and dragging him to the police station. We can see how Vignesh was trying to run away from the police officials.
Right. And it is, very, very clear that this is a case of, prima facie, this is a very clear case of custodial torture and death. And the first thing that the government is bound to do on this is that they should have at least filed a FIR on the people who are responsible for this. So 10 days into this, we have not even seen a single FIR. So this is why, even though the crime branch has taken it up, but what is the first thing that they should do? There is a complaint. They should first file an FIR and then only investigate into the matter, because there are prima facie very clear evidences that this is a case of custodial torture and death. And therefore, whatever the government has been doing is only to cover up this case so far, and there is very, very little confidence left in the investigating agencies and to the state government.
Absolutely. Mr. Jairam, thank you very much for your point of view. Mr. Suman Raman is also with us on the phone line. Sir, how do you instill confidence in the police investigation, in the CBCID investigation, because the CCTV footage completely contradicts the police's version, sir?
Yeah, I think there have been persistent doubts about the police version, right? The versions was that Vignesh pulled out a knife and tried to attack the policeman and so on. So much of this has been discussed extensively in the media in Tamil Nadu, and that has been questioned. And obviously, right now the matter is with the CBCID, and we will have to wait for the inquiry. But it is interesting to note that nobody has been arrested so far. It's only a few done, but arrested, in connection with what happened to Vignesh. Hopefully, in the next few days of the inquiry, we should see some action. If we don't, then probably a CBI inquiry would be called for.
Okay, the demand has been for a CBI inquiry, but Mr. Suman Raman, if you look at these visuals, it not just corroborates what the eyewitnesses or the family members have said, but the police officials had very clearly said that Vignesh already had injuries when they picked him up. So that's something that the police officials said, which was clearly not the case.
Yes, and we also don't know the post-mortem report, what exactly it says as the cause of death. That again, we are told that the post-mortem was videographed, so obviously the evidence is already available, and that will clearly, the age of the injuries can be estimated forensically. during a postmortem. Whether the injuries were sustained maybe a week ago or a few hours ago can easily be established. So we'll have to wait for the CBCID investigation to come up with the facts, and if they don't, then possibly a CBI probe.
Right. Mr. Raman, thank you very much for your point of view. So there has been a sole demand that the CBI steps in and the state government hands over the matter to the Central Investigative Agency there, because there are clear contradictions. Brinda, if you are still with us, because we've been speaking to the eyewitness there, they have been having a completely different account. The family members allege that the police tried to buy their silence and to completely hush up the matter. Even the body was not cremated as per religious rituals.
Yes, that is something that has been blamed on the police, and then if that is there, it is a testimony that must be taken in very seriously by the court, by the judges, because the police were trying to cover up. And you also mentioned that there were injury marks and other marks on his body, which means the autopsy report must be duly considered in the court. But what is astonishing is that the police actually thought, and even today think, that they can get away by paying off the family members. What is the cost? What is the value they will place on a person's life according to the cops? What is that price that they can place? How dare the police actually think that they can buy off the family members? Have they lost anybody from their family members? And if they have lost, what is the cost that they would put on that family? And I think this impunity must be pulled up. And I hope the Chief Minister, Mr. Stalin, is going to direct a special set of people, because colleagues will never investigate colleagues. That is why you need a special set of people who will investigate fairly so that the culprits are duly punished.
That's right. So, Ms. Brinda, these are some very, very serious charges that have been leveled. First, the case itself, it is a custodial death. The man was assaulted in custody and then he died. Then the police officials tried everything in their might to hush it up completely. First, a very hurried burial. Then we had the family members claiming that they were paid money as well to ensure that this case does not come up. Despite all of that, now we have the CCTV evidence coming in as well. Despite all of that, the only assurance that has come in from the Chief Minister or from the government is that strict action will be taken. But the question is when? It's been over 10 days, not even a single arrest in the case.
Yeah, exactly. So we want the Chief Minister not to only have any kind of lip service, but an execution of action. Action as per law. They are anyway not doing charity to anybody. What is the law? The law calls for an FIR to be registered. And how long are their departmental inquiries going to take place? Not for the next 6 years. Let them finish it in the next 6 weeks, because that is important to register the case. All investigation, all forensic reports must also be collected, because if they delay it, then all of this will get lost. And then there would be no case.
This is of the essence there, as far as the investigation is concerned, to take all of the evidence in consideration so that we don't lose out on many of those pictures there. Brinda Adige, thank you very much for your point of view, because the first channel to break those CCTV footages that are also coming in, and also how they second the testimonies that has been given by the main eyewitness and of course the family of Vignesh. Because let's get you another breaking update on the same story. What is being coming across as the family members of Vignesh, they have been speaking 2 times now. More details of the police callousness has now come to light, where the brothers of Vignesh say that the inspector had admitted to them that their brother died due to police brutality. This is admission that is coming to record what the family is now claiming, that the police had admitted that Vignesh died while being in their custody.
எப்படி இறந்ததுங்கிறதுக்கு அச்சி தாண்டா சாவ வச்சோம்.
அப்படி சொன்னாங்க.
உங்களால என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? அப்படி சொன்னாங்க. அச்சி தான் சாவ வச்சாங்க. உங்களால என்ன பண்ண முடியும்? உலகா நான் சொல்றப்பே செய்யுங்க. எல்லாம் பணத்தை கூட பார்க்க மாட்டீங்க. எல்லாம் எல்லாரும் உட்கார வச்சு சொன்னாங்க. மேல கேஸ் இருக்கு. நீ அந்த கேஸை வச்சே உன்னை உன் அண்ணனை பார்க்காத அளவுக்கு நான் இது பண்ணிடுவேன். கேஸை இப்படியே முடிச்சிடுவேன். என்னது பிக்ஸு அவனுக்கு வந்ததே இல்லை இது வரைக்கும். அவனுக்கு பிக்ஸே வராது. என்ன விக்ஸியும் பிராந்தியும் ஒன்றா குடித்தா பிக்ஸு வரும். அப்படி தான் அவன் அண்ணன் குடிச்சிட்டு இருக்கான். அவன் குடிக்கவே மாட்டான் அந்த அளவுக்கு. குடிக்கிற பழக்கமே இல்லைன்ட்டு நாங்கள் சொல்லவும், நீ என்னடா ரூல்ஸ்லாம் பேசுகிற இன்ட்டு என்னை கட்ட வார்த்தையில் திட்டினாங்க.
The brothers of Vignesh who are recounting what the police officers told them. In fact, one of the brothers says an inspector named Mohan Raj allegedly told them that yes, Vignesh died because the police beat them up, and he of course went on to ask what will they do about it. And the other brother of course says that he was also threatened by the police because he has one previous earlier case that was registered against him. So another brother says the police threatened him, saying that he will be remanded in that case if they don't keep quiet. So these are the allegations that the brothers of Vignesh of course has now put forward.
பணத்தை கூட பார்க்க மாட்டீங்க எல்லாரும் உட்கார வச்சு சொன்னாங்க மேலே கேஸ் இருக்கு நீ அந்த கேஸை வச்சே உன்னை உன் அண்ணனை பார்க்காத அளவுக்கு நான் இது
talking about how this particular police inspector named Mohan Das allegedly told them that yes, your brother died because police beat him up. What will you do about it?
வரும் அப்படிதான் அண்ணன் குடிச்சிட்டு இருக்கான். அவன் குடிக்கவே மாட்டான் அந்த அளவுக்கு. குடிக்கிற பழக்கமே இல்லைன்ட்டு நாங்கள் சொல்லவும் நீ என்னடா ரூல்ஸ் எல்லாம் பேசுற இந்தியனை கட்ட வார்த்தையில திட்டினாங்க. திட்டிட்டு
our brother suffered seizures because he had alcohol and he is not someone who consumes alcohol very frequently.
இவங்க மிரட்டினதும் இல்லாம அங்கிருந்து குதிரை ஓட்டிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அவரும் ஃபோன் பண்ணி சொன்னார், உங்கள் அண்ணன் மூஞ்ச கூட பார்க்க முடியாதுடா, நீ அவங்க சொல்கிறத கேட்டுன்னு ஒழுங்கா இருடா, நீ கத்துறதும் நீ இச்சிக்கிட்டதும் ஒரு இதுவும் நடக்காதுடா, உங்கள் அண்ணன் மூஞ்ச கூட பார்க்க விட மாட்டாங்க.
The ex-employer of Vignesh made him contact us and tell us that we should listen to what the cops are telling. Otherwise, we will not even be allowed to see the face of our brother before he is cremated.
பணத்தை கூட பார்க்க மாட்டீங்க எல்லாரும்
உட்கார வச்சு சொன்னாங்க மேலே கேஸ் இருக்கு, நீ அந்த கேஸை வச்சே உன்னை உன் அண்ணனை பார்க்காத அளவுக்கு நான் இது பண்ணிடுவேன், கேஸை இப்படியே முடிச்சிடுவேன். என்னது பிக்ஸு அவனுக்கு வந்ததே இல்லை இது வரைக்கும்.
So this was Shilpa's exclusive conversation with the family members there, saying very clearly that the police officials had admitted that he was killed in custody. Not just that, Shilpa had also spoken to an eyewitness in the case, and this eyewitness account also very, very crucial. Listen in.
போலீஸ் மடக்கினாங்க, எங்கே போயிட்டு வரீங்கன்னாங்க. சார் நான் ரிட்டர்ன் வந்திருந்தேன், இவங்க ஜிஹெச் போகிறேன்னாங்க, அதனால் ஏற்றிட்டு வந்திருந்தேன். சரி 2 பேர் கீழே இறங்க, 3 பேர் இறங்கினேன். என் அட்ரஸ்லாம் வாங்கினாங்க, என்னை உரமாக நிப்பாட்டாங்க. இந்த 2 பசங்களை உட்கார வச்சு செக் பண்ணாங்க, மாஸ்க்கை கைட்டுன்னு ஃபோட்டோ பிடிச்சோன்னா இவர் ரமேஷ்னாரு, அவர் பேர் சுரேஷ்னு வந்தது. அதனால் அவர் அடித்தாங்க. அடித்து அவர் உட்கார வச்சோன்னா இந்த தம்பியை இன்னொரு தம்பியை போட்டு விக்னேஷ் 3வது நபர் ஒருத்தர் வந்து அவனை சரமாரி அடிச்சாரு.
இந்த போலீஸ் அடிக்கிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி அவர் மேல ஏதாச்சும் காயம் இருந்துச்சு? ஏன்னா போலீஸ் வந்து அவரோட ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்ல என்ன சொல்றாங்கன்னா அங்க பிடிக்கும் போதே அவரோட பாடியில நிறைய காயம் இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னு.
இல்ல அதெல்லாம் கிடையாது.
இல்ல ஒரு காயம் இல்ல, அவர் பெர்ஃபெக்ட்டா இருந்தாரு,
பெர்ஃபெக்ட்டா நார்மலா தான் இருந்தாரு.
Coming back to Shilpa on this, because this is getting bigger, Shilpa. We've spoken to the eyewitness, we've spoken to the family members there, and rest remains to be seen because everything that they've been saying corroborates with the CCTV footage that we've accessed.
Well, that's right, Amita. Look at the arrogance of these cops. In fact, an inspector named Mohan Das, it's not even his jurisdiction, but he was brought in to handle the family. And what brothers of Vignesh told us is that this particular inspector allegedly admitted to them that yes, it was due to police brutality that Vignesh passed away. In fact, if I can just transcribe and translate what Vignesh brothers said.
In just a bit, Shilpa, interrupting you at this point, Mr. Tirupati is also with us on the broadcast. Sir, exactly now when it comes to many of those differences that have now come to light, what the police has to say, and of course what Vignesh's family, the eyewitness and the CCTV footage is that has now been accessed.
See, there is no doubt that because of the police brutality, we lost Vignesh. That is right, and the compensation the police offered and all those things. BJP had demanded a CBI inquiry. We demanded action against the police officials. But this video, I don't think this video is anything to do with the, custodial death, because the accused, the Vignesh, was escaping from the police's, clutches, police's, custody. So it is natural for any police person to go behind the accused and catch them. That is what I think
Sir, beaten up that bad, sir. He was barely able to stand, sir. He was being dragged by the police.
No.
The police officials have said that he did not have any injuries because of them. That's what the police officials have said. They said that he already had injuries. The CCTV visual there very clearly showing that he was trying to run for his life. As the police officials chased him, they can also be seen assaulting him.
How can you say it is a run for his life? He is escaping from the custody of the police.
Okay, so you're denying that the police officials even were beating him up, although it's very evident in the CCTV footage. Mr. Narayan Tirupati, thank you for joining us. The CCTV footage there very clearly showing that the police officials were assaulting Vignesh, and this is what is crucial in the CCTV footage because the police officials have denied it completely. They claim that they never beat him up at all, and this is a part of what happened that night. This, of course, is just a small part of what transpired that night. In the CCTV footage, you can see the police officials dragging him and taking him and assaulting him, something the police officials denied completely. Shilpa?
Well, yes, like you rightly mentioned, this is just a small portion, a small video clip that has emerged from that night where Vignesh was allegedly beaten up by the cops. It is not the entire episode, whatever transpired there at Kelly's Junction. It's just a small portion that has now emerged. Now, going by the eyewitness testimony, going by what the family members have alleged, and going by the details of the postmortem that we managed to access, this beating up or this
disclosures that have now been made. The latest one is the CCTV footage that has been accessed on the night of April 18th and 19th, the very moment when Vignesh was picked up by the policeman there. We'll continue to get you multiple reactions on the big story right here on Times Now. Shilpa, for the moment, thanks very much for joining in. We'll be back with the top headlines.